Yeah.
So
They just played really well.
I mean, for me, I think it's impressive that they won the way they won. Not that they're capable of beating MVP, but that they're capable of like basically taking a punch in the mouth from MVP the same way that MVP almost always wins their games, which is to crush the lanes and just snowball and run at you. And then they come back and beat them at their own games.
Yeah,
So,
I got to say, when FY missed his first, I think it was 4 kicks as Earth Spirit, I was sitting here going, this could be really ugly.
And there was then he rolled in mid, immediately died to the tower shots and the shards, and it was like, oh god, this is just one of those tilting Earth Spirit games where someone's just going to get on the feed train. But the opposite happened.
Yep.
He came back and had a huge game.
Little bit unlucky too. We were talking about this on the panel that there was a little bit of an unfortunate set of shards early on by the Tusk mid that cost them a kill on the DP, and that's not really the player's fault. That spell is kind of random.
That felt very glitchy, to be honest. Like that looked like a good shards, but it ended up being a bit of a disaster, and it was definitely one of the contributing factors to turning the game around.
Yeah, it was a smoke that they brought their hard carry into to go for the kill, and then ends up not getting it, using his ult as well. It's just, they didn't really have any team fight after that. They don't have a Juggernaut ulti. They have to rely on the OD ulti, who can't even get any hits off. So his ulti is really useless if you're not getting any Arcane Orb stacks. So, yeah, I really liked VGR's approach in this game.
Well, let's talk about adjustments, guys. Going into game 2, what does MVP.Phoenix look to do differently? Because they had a pretty good early game. I think they were able to dodge those ganks in lane. They were able to at least hold their own in the early game. What do you think they look to do in this next game?
That's a tough question. I mean, they banned the Sven, but I felt like Gyro was almost a better hero for this game because he fights way better at that stage of the game. Like. To me, MVP want to win the game and like get complete control by like 10 to 15 minutes, not by like 20 to 30. So I think you'd almost rather give them something like a Sven and take away a Gyro or take away a Juggernaut. I mean, they picked it for themselves. So I don't really think the draft was terrible by any means. I think it was pretty solid from MVP. If there's one thing I would say is FY had a bad start in our Spirit, and that hero was still a huge impact this game. Right. It wasn't like it didn't win the game single-handedly, but I don't think you give them Earth Spirit.
I think you show respect to the hero and you ban it.
They could have had it for themselves too. Like they could have had a first pick. They went for the MP.
That's true.
So I don't know if they expected Vici Gaming to grab it. FY wasn't the Earth Spirit player on the old Vici Gaming, so that could have factored into it. Either they weren't expecting it or they weren't afraid of it. But I think after this game, with a bad start, he still has that impact.
Right.
Imagine if he hits those first few rolls, those first few kicks. It's lights out. So
I think with FY, you have to respect his ability to play almost any hero, right? I mean, with what we've seen from him in the past.
It like slightly reminded me of the first time I saw Puppy play Earth Spirit, because Seeker was always running at mid for Weeha, where it's like he's literally learning the hero this game, and like 10 minutes in, he's like 5 times as good as he was at the start of the game. I'm sure he wasn't actually learning it, but he's getting warmed up.
Getting the hang of it, yeah.
Sure. Warm-up game. Well, I think
if that's a warm-up game for Vici, then I'm really scared if I'm MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, forget Na'Vi and Alliance for a minute. Is Chinese Dota back? Because what we've seen so far today would suggest that what we saw at Shanghai might have been the anomaly rather than the rule.
That was so different, though, from LGD. Looking at VGR compared to LGD, it's like opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah. But again, that's part of what I look for in the meta where we are right now is, can these teams play different styles and be successful? I don't think you can have every team in your region playing the same.
Yeah, it's great to see. It really is. I love seeing that kind of aggression coming out.
Okay, well, we are going to take a short break here between Games 1 and Game 2, and we will be right back with more Star Ladder action.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
Esports returns to Kiev. The first ever Star Ladder I-League Invitational will take place at the Kiev Cybersports Arena, the premier gaming center of Eastern Europe. The strongest Dota 2 teams from across the globe will fight for a $100,000 prize pool. Swedish powerhouse Alliance, current Star Series champions, look to continue their dominance against top-tier teams from China, CIS, Korea, and the West. Support your favorite teams and catch all the spectacular action starting this Thursday, April 14th through Sunday, April 17th on Twitch TV.
We are back in Kiev here at the Star Ladder Invitational, and VG.Reborn, a team that not many knew what to expect from, coming in playing with a stand-in here at the mid position this weekend, pull out to a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series over MVP.Phoenix after an amazing Game 1. I'm back here on the panel, joined once again by Fogged and by LD. Guys, I think we were all three a little bit surprised, maybe not fogged, by that first game result. I want to give a shout-out to our good friend Blitz. I think you said that might have been a Blitz Dota draft, Fog. Shh. Okay. No, don't tell anybody. Viewers. Anyway, so we are just a few minutes away now. I think we've got 9 out of 10 players in the lobby here ahead of our Game 2 draft. So we're going to get to see what adjustments MVP.Phoenix make. But gut feelings, guys, what do you feel? Are we going to get to see a third game finally today?
It's possible. I mean, it really comes down to what heroes we see. I mean, like what heroes we picked up. Like if they give Earth Spirit again, I'm really not going to like that. I really think that they should just take it or ban it.
Walking out on the rest of the game.
Now, Scant made a point here. One of our good friends that I follow here on Twitter made a point that MVP actually had been banning Doom recently, and they didn't ban Doom in Game 1. Do you think that's something that they think about in Game 2?
Definitely.
Okay, we are gonna go into our draft here, talk about the first set of picks and bans, but I thought that was a very good observation.
But not over Earth Spirit, I would say, unless they're planning to first pick it for themselves. But it will be Vici with first pick.
Well, banning the Doom later on is, I think, definitely a good idea, especially if you're gonna pick up a hero like the OD, who is just so reliant on all that.
I definitely think Phase 2. Yeah. And if you go something that's really hard countered by Doom.
MVP just gonna stick with what they're going with. They ban the Sven again.
Yeah, hard to argue with the Bounty Hunter ban also out of VG.Reborn.
Yeah, Vici's got first pick this game too, so it's a little bit different.
Okay, and
they don't want to first pick it. I don't think they want it to be like that single pick, which makes sense.
So
we got Furion, Beastmaster, OD, Beastmaster.
Yeah. I feel like that's Nature's Prophet has not necessarily looked like the hero today so far.
Is this where MVP busts out an IO strat?
IO Bristleback. That's really the only IO strat they run.
I mean, or we mentioned Drow. That's something they've pulled out on occasion.
They have to Witch Doctor in the first 2. It's gonna get banned. I feel like that's what they're gonna want. It's just so good versus the Beastmaster. It's their most comfortable hero. Sure, that last game didn't represent it so good, but
that is definitely not a Witch Doctor.
That is not.
No, look at it go, buddy.
No.
He's shaking his head right now, guys.
I was completely wrong.
Are you flipping? Are you coming on all aboard the?
Fog's on tilt, man.
Oh, whatever, dude.
Well, this should fit for you though. You've been predicting Vici so far, so
yeah.
Now you should feel more confident.
I mean, I like the pickups anyway. Like Beastmaster's obnoxious. He's able to get so much with his roar, and if he has any global presence on top of it, it's annoying. So them picking up Invoker and Furion, pretty appropriate. Just can't even. It's kind of like a deny pick at the same time as just. It's just very good heroes in general,
Now, is this where Vici even consider a jungler to pressure the Invoker, the NP and lane, look for some early towers? They're going to go Lion.
Oh, it's hard to argue with.
Well, DDC,
stick to their guns.
DDC
he was hitting those MMY level, mini Ravages pretty much every fight. He did have some nice setup.
And again, after kind of a rough start, he tried to help his teammate early and ended up feeding first blood. And comes back and has a really, really nice game.
Well, I brought up Edge, but actually she's already banned, so that won't be an option for them.
So we did see the Spectre banned out right away. They don't want to deal with.
I think
that's very MVP-esque, They pick up this Invoker Furion. It could be the Quaswex Invoker that they sometimes do play, and they go for that hardcore invasion once they get the level 6s up.
Yeah, I do. I think I like the Exort Invoker for their lineup a little bit more, but it just depends on who's going to play here.
Absolutely. Something you can never forget.
I want to see them. I want to see them pick up like a spirit breaker here. I want to see them pick up one of their sort of vintage tanky heroes that's at home in the middle of a fight, because this is what was happening in the last game, is that OD started every fight at like 300 HP.
Yeah.
And I think it was Ryuu that made this observation at the very end that, what's the snowball going to do? Tusk was snowballing OD out of a fight when he already was on 300 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to that end, Night Stalker is a hero out there, especially for VG Gaming, something they've run quite a bit of. The old VG Gaming, even the current Reborn lineup as well, has been running it a bit. So
they like it a lot versus Beastmaster as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Beastmaster numbers,
in
by
the
way,
Vision
are
Wars.
scary.
Yeah, Vision War, exactly.
7-2 is VG Gaming Reborn with the Beastmaster with this roster.
Pretty strong hero, if I say so myself.
Well, I want to see the bans here, because if Witch Doctor wasn't banned, I am going to be quite surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty silly to first to it. Me saying that is just a little bit overzealous, but...
All right, let's do some detective work here, guys. What do we got? I see a third pick.
I saw...
Is that a Slark?
It is.
Is that that's the QO Slark?
Yeah, that's got to be the QO Slark.
Aha.
Yeah.
And really good Slark game.
Unusual in a couple of respects, right? I mean, you say really good Slark game, but you've got 3 heroes left to go.
They have all 3 cores.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing I was about to point out. When's the last time you've seen in a pro match the 3 cores get picked first 3 picks?
Yeah, you really don't see it much. It's very strange for them to do it.
And no Witch Doctor ban.
No Witch Doctor ban. I guess they don't really care for it. I guess they don't really think it's too much of a problem.
Actually did ban the TA.
Yeah.
Respect.
I guess they've done their homework as far as Coach Mikasa.
It's still very good. It can be very good versus the Invoker, especially if you're like really constant on it. If you're someone who plays it all the time.
That's definitely a very intense matchup as far as like practicing it.
Yeah.
Timing refraction, hitting the side blades.
Yeah, exactly. It can definitely be much easier for the Invoker now, just because of the nature of the buffs and everything. But
just sick your Forge Spirits on him.
Exactly.
And sit back.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we talked earlier about Queen of Pain not being a hero since Shanghai, but S4 made it look like a hero in a match earlier on. And
now, to be fair, that was a very lopsided lane matchup, and he got help,
True.
but he took full advantage of it.
So how do you see the Quap Invoker matchup right now?
If you get a good block, Quap can win the first couple levels, and you can get a decent, not like a huge advantage, but if you get your bottle up and you're able to just like able to control runes and everything, you're able to do all right, as long as you get like a decent rotation in it once you hit level 6. But Invoker, once he hits like level 4, maybe even level 3, he's going to start being able to just constantly get all that CS.
Wow.
You were just talking about Scant.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about the Chinese teams picking up Lifestealer. And I was going to say something when you were talking about the Doom ban, and now they actually end up going for this Lifestealer. So
there's a bit
really
of a Lifestealer renaissance going on. Lodo was raving about him earlier today and how he thinks the hero's criminally underrated and everyone should be picking him.
Well, it's interesting. Loda was one of the first to try him out, right?
Well,
after
he had a very
change.
interesting build as well. That was the Radiance Rush, and then we saw Universe trying to do it, but
the
from
meme build.
The meme build, but then Universe started doing it from the offlane position for EG for a while. It had mixed results, but now we've actually seen most Lifestealers go back to the old school build: the Phase, Drums, Armlet, S and Y. We saw Desolator pick up today,
earlier,
but I mean more like classic Lifestealer items, and it's been working surprisingly well.
I mean, Rage is a great tool versus Invoker overall. Let's see, they have the Queen of Pain for the bombs as well, and then they're going to have...
And they have the Beastmaster, which is the big BKB piercing disable that teams are really picking out, that and Enigma. Doom, I guess, on occasion, but Doom's banned. They have the Beastmaster. Who are you going to get to deal with the angry and raged
The angry ancient creep.
Yeah, that all of a sudden that couple KHP ancient creep that's just running right at you with a Lifestealer popping out.
And MVP don't have that much physical damage. Like, yes, late game Slark and late game Invoker are very scary, but Lifestealer with an early armlet grab is definitely going to be able to tank what they dish out. So if you're Disruptor, you're peeing your pants a little bit right now.
Oh, I don't know. I still feel like these are individual heroes that MVP.Phoenix is very comfortable with.
Yeah, agreed.
10 seconds remaining.
And I still feel like Lifestealer, despite that ancient creep, he is going to run into trouble trying to stand toe-to-toe with a Slark. later on.
Definitely a late game matchup that Slark's fine with. It's all about that early to mid game right now for VG.
They go for the Earthshaker.
Yeah,
A little bit of a throwback. They're one of the few teams that still pick it.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say, that you're seeing 2 heroes in Queen of Pain and Earthshaker that really had fallen deep out of favor in the current meta.
Well, Slark kind of a bit too, right? I feel like he's not seen.
No, not after E at Shanghai.
Fair
Slark's
enough.
back.
Fair
Slark's
all
back.
We do see the Darkseer picked up now too.
All right, guys. Quick predictions. Who do you like here in game 2? Are
I gotta take a look
VGR
at this really quickly again.
gonna be able to close out the series?
I got to take a look at the drafts really quick again because it's got to look
Too
at
bad,
the Radiant Dire
Yeah,
advantage.
too bad.
You're going to look at the booth.
Oh, well, fine.
Give me a pick, boys.
You guys first? Oh, I got to take a look at it again.
The Darkseer pick seems a little greedy to round this one out. I think we're going to a game 3.
Decision time, Fog. Come on,
VG
I'm taking
Gaming
the
all
trophy.
the way.
All right, all right.
He's all aboard.
With that, we are going to throw it out to our
about you?
casters. Dakota, KotLGuy.
Oh, he
Cox.
thought he could get away without
Yeah, you
predicting
could.
it.
I have to go with MVP.
Okay.
All right.
And as I said, here are
Let me just write this down.
you two are going to kill me, all right? Making my hosting job more difficult, ladies and gentlemen. Out to our casters here for game number 2.
Thank you so much, Charles, as myself and Alan back at the caster panel. The game's actually already underway, but Alan, quickly, your impressions about the draft, and do you think VG Gaming can do it 2-0, and also your opinion about the return now of this Lifestealer craze?
Well, you're asking a lot of questions with so little time here, Dakota, but I agree, it could be very close once again for VGR and MVP have very even drafts here. I think this will be our first best of 3, so I'm going to say MVP are going to win it because I love this Earthshaker for disengaging that Lifestealer. He can just block them off once, and then all their chase potential could be gone. And I think it's all on the backs right now of how well Febby can do for this disengages.
People are talking about how they feel this meta is getting a bit stale, and they're calling out, please, Mr. Lizard, save us from this. But when we're seeing a resurgence of your Lifestealer, and if Lifestealer's back in the spotlight, that means heroes like Earthshaker are going to be back in the spotlight, then I think there's room for, a little bit more potential of just changing trends of heroes here. But we'll have to see.
So not another patch for another 4 months? Okay,
yep,
Dakota?
Yep, that might be how it goes here. We'll have to see.
Invoker every day.
Maybe a mild patch. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case or not as we do get underway, folks. It's game number 2. VG.Reborn going against MVP here. It is double elimination, but if MVP do drop this, they will risk going down into the lower bracket early on here. And another interesting note, of course, is with that last pickup here of the Darkseer, who is going to get stunned up early. Ooh, swing and a miss from QO, not going to be able to catch the pounce. Yang, though, still trapped. Body blocks coming out from MP. And, well, it looks like Yang might be able to still find his way. At Febby, meanwhile, though, he's got the clarity rolling through. He needs a little bit more time, and the Fisher will be there. There it is. Can he get the connection? Yang goes south. They're going to be able to hit him, and QO will be able to pop him down with one last right click. It's long-winded, but a first blood is going to go the way of MVP.
Yep, that was just very greedy, trying to catch out the hero there. And they got the D-ward, too. So realizing that he was trying to make that sneaky play, having the extra vision for the Darkseer, and that's going to hurt him a lot. But at least he's going to come back to lane. He's going to get level 2 now.
And as he comes back to lane, QO is just making his return back to this top lane. And he's got Surge now, though, as his level 2 comes up. But he's going to walk right into a brick wall. Yang could be going down 2 times straight. And it looks like that will be the case. And both of them going the way of QO and his Slark. My goodness, could not ask for a better start here if you're an MVP fan.
And it's just looking very good for them right now. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, MP is going to be going for that Quaswex build that the casters were, or the analysts were talking about. This is going to help out a lot. And I think that Mikasa is just a little bit less, mechanically skilled here than MP. So he's not going to be doing a good time here. There's 4-1 already in the favor of both of them, and that favors the Invoker heavily because he's the one that needs to start getting up the damage with the phase boots and starting to get those last hits, but not enough pressure being applied by Mikasa and not enough last hits, I think, for him.
Yeah, and this game not having the benefit of that FY rolling in with the Earth Spirit. This game, he's actually been playing this 4 position straight to Jungle Beastmaster, right up with the Iron Talon. Ryuu, what do you think about this? I mean, it's a bit more greedy for your 4 position, but do you think in the long run it might benefit them a lot?
I mean, he's level 3 already. This is insane. A level 3 at 2 minutes in with the Beastmaster.
He's grinding right now.
This is
Enigma level jungling play right now.
Exactly. So that's going to help them a lot. And normally the Darkseer shouldn't have been shut down this much, but
Yang Got to be careful here. You're in a lane against a disruptor here. Dubu did not level up the glimpse yet. He does level it right there at that moment. We'll be able to get it off, but a setup for the fissure, I don't think, though. He's going to have the surge, and he'll be able to make it away, but they continue to keep Yang in check.
Yeah, that's a lot of wasted mana, and looking at Yang, he has a lot of consumables, so not the best thing for MVP there to waste it. Let's see, Febby will be able to work with the fissure here shortly, but Dubu's going to be forced to use that clarity now, and I don't know, is Darkseer, does he have to go back into the lane, or back into the jungle? That's going to be the question.
Problem is the jungle is being occupied by this gentleman here, Mr. FY, and I don't know if I can really fault him. Now he's level 4 just before the 3-minute mark. But what are you doing with all this early momentum? Is it straight to level 6 so you can kind of make an impact in the lane with your first Primal Roar? What are you looking to do with all this huge surplus of XP that you're getting to yourself in the jungle?
Right, I want to see where he wants to rotate in because, you know, you have this Invoker who's going to go for this KotLGuy build. You get a lot more strength built up with your Quas here, and the regen is going to be there. So it's going to be hard for him to smoke gank the mid lane without the Queen of Pain having the ulti. And then meanwhile, if you rotate bottom lane and get a kill on 4Ev, they can't really push the tower that well with the Beastmaster until he starts getting up those Necro books. So it's going to be interesting, yeah, like you said, where he's going to go.
And I guess, you know, early headdress here, straight for the mech possibly. It's almost like he is playing it like an Enigma in a sense, you know, utilizing his creeps to help jungle farm that much faster, and with this huge surplus of XP could turn it into some early momentum for his team in any sort of lane. Step in, dish out the big ulti, and then turn it into a push.
He's probably done this a lot where he's like, well, let me just get this instead of getting a lot of consumables, like, you know, double tangos or tango and salve, and just going to have a headdress, and like you said, he can build that into something later on if he wants.
Looks like there is going to be a bit of a pause here coming out from FY. He's being scouted at the moment from a little Treant Protector. He's a bit low on life, but it's all to protect towards that 4-minute rune here, which is about to come out. Mikasa will make the jump for Ev, does rotate in. The Sprout will come out, and here comes trouble. Febby is going to get stopped there. DDC gets a nice 2-man connection with the stun. And now they look to Delta split a bit. They're going to make their move for DDC. He gets hit with the fissure, and the glimpse will pull him back, and that will lead to a pickoff. MVP will
meanwhile, top lane Q is going to get a solo kill.
Oh, Yang! He strikes back. After that punishing start, he'll finally be able to get a kill for himself, and it finally gets VG.Reborn on the board.
Oh my goodness, a solo kill for the Darkseer in the off lane. Everything is forgiven now for Yang. You are a king now. How does that even happen? He didn't have his level 6 on Slark, and he's going for this greedy Midas already.
Straight to Midas. Already has the recipe and couldn't even
Punished
afford the gloves
heavily.
yet. Uh-oh. We'll have to see if this could come back to bite him in the ass a bit. Otherwise, we'll just get right back into the grind of farm. And as you said, this just turns out wonderfully for Yang. He's quickly up to near level 5 at this moment. We'll have to make the long run back to base here. Touching base, though, with FY at this point. He's going to be fishing out a salve for himself. And he's going to grind his way towards that level 6, it looks like.
It's funny how, when I talked about the headdress, he immediately gets the tangos and the salves, too, to help him jungle out here. But yeah, he's on a nicely timed pace. As you said, he's kind of like Enigma. Enigma should be around like 6 right about now, so he's doing a good job keeping up. And right now, Mikasa's just going to be the brunt of this. 23, actually, he's doing really well for himself. 23-8 to 19-9 for the Invoker. So not doing too bad here in the mid lane. I thought he was going to start going even more behind against the Invoker once MP got his phase boots, but that's not the case. He's doing a really good job CSing here in the mid lane.
The Midas will be complete now there. You know, just shy of 6 minutes. Still, you know, it's a really good timing, but as you said, is very greedy, and I'm curious to see if VG.Reborn are going to be punishing him for it or not. Another hefty movement here from MVP to make sure they could secure a rune, this time the top bounty, which will be snagged up there from Forev. And might even segue this towards the mid lane for a little bit of push. And he will spawn the Treants, and they are going to be going for a tier 1 now.
Yeah, let's look at the TP rotations. What can they really do?
Well, they have Primal Roar now on FY, and he is in the neighborhood.
They do have Lifestealer too with TP, and yeah, they have to be very careful. We saw last game MVP throwing bodies at towers did not work.
Did not.
They need to be a little bit more surgical.
Uh-oh. Well, they are going to make a move for Yang. They ping him out right now. There's the early kinetic field. He still holds on to the surge, but you got to expect the glimpse to be coming out here. Febby, though, is going to lead it with a nice fissure. Kyo gets the movement, and he's going to get the kill. It's actually Dubu who will pick that one up, but a good pick off there for Yang.
Hey, just see how effective this disruptor is against Darkseer. You just can't do anything in the lane. Once they find you, Oh, bottom lane.
Rotated in for the bottom, and, well, as FY shows himself, Forev already makes the move back. That's too deep to commit a Primal Roar. It's going to lead to nothing. A rotation is going to come in from MP. It gets a nice Tornado EMP combo, and this is going to turn into a bit of trouble for FY. It will force out the stun from DDC to help escort this Beastmaster back out and to safety. It looks like they will be able to make it away without losing anything. Up and above, though, Mikasa's made the jump here for MP. Moving forward, holds the Sonic Wave, gets it off there, and will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, nice rotations coming in from him. They got the kill on the Invoker. That's going to be a heavily prized target here, and that's going to allow the Queen of Pain to just start doing a lot more effective against the Invoker, and that's the timing. Oh, top lane once again.
Yang again. This going to be able to get the wall off right now. He might be able to get QO down. He jumps away, but the Surge comes out, and he's not going to be able to make it out of there. Yang turns it around, and he makes his move for Dubu. He's going to get 2. Unbelievable from Yang. After they continue to bring him down.
Is he going to get triple here? He's going for it, Dakota.
Are you serious right now? Okay, no, he will turn the corner. It's a bit too much. This time, though, he will try to find his way out. He has no TP scroll, though, and they are.
Suicide?
He's a fugitive. Deny me, please.
Nice soul ring.
Well played from Yang, man. This guy's most of the attention has been in his lane here in the top, and you know, just when they're able to pick him off a couple of times, he always finds a way to strike back.
From 0 to hero and so fast, so fast. Really well played from Yang, and that's the biggest thing right now. When you're having these solo kills on the Slark, slowing him down, he has the Midas, so he wants to constantly get up that EXP in the farm, and it's what happens when you don't have all this mana to work with. You don't have that access to that Aquila that you normally do, so you're lacking mana. Yang is going to get pounced on here a little bit, but
Kyo's got to be careful, though. I mean, it's a level 4 Ion Shell, and when you're only sporting, well, pretty much a Midas, you're not going to be the biggest, tankiest hero right now. But he's about to finish off what looks like his power treads here, so going back and building up the early foundation. But they are going to be looking to punish him once again. FY's here with the smoke looking to move in. Can't get close enough, though, for the Primal Roar here. That opportunity might have just missed its window, but it looks like VG.Reborn are still going to try to pressure up this top lane quite a bit.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're going for a smoke play on the bottom lane here. It did pop. Oh, nice Tornado going to pop.
Yep, for DDC. DDC is not going to be able to get the catch of the stun on that one, and it will lead to an easy support takedown there for MVP. And they'll probably look to turn this into a bit of pressure onto this tier 1, and we could end up with a bit of a trade. QO still hanging around this top lane here. Got to be careful. Roar is still going to connect, even with the pounce going off, but he's still pretty far away, and you don't want to be diving too deep for that one. So they'll make their go for the tier 1 top lane as simultaneous action bottom lane as MVP will make their own trade.
This is really nice for them. Getting any trades against the MVP lineup is always great because you normally can't really split push as effectively as the Furion, and the Invoker's going to be applying a lot of pressure here on the map, so any access to the map that they can get is going to help VGR tremendously. And Mikasa, we've already seen that one Sonic Wave kind of kill off the Invoker. Now it's going to be on him to make his next play. He's saving up 1.6K here.
Yeah, what do you think is the best option for him? We typically, you know, been seeing a lot of the Orchid grabs, but what about this
is a BKB game, but at the same time, I think Ags, it's so difficult because Yules doesn't really help against the Disruptor sendback. You need to have that BKB, but going BKB on Queen of Pain first hurts your farm tremendously, as well as, yeah, just having better stats all around. So it's going to be interesting what he goes for, as well as, you know, FY. It's talked about he could have went for maybe the Mechanism, but obviously the Darkseer is going to be the main handle of that. So he's just using that for more efficiency in the jungle and still going to go back for the Necro 3. That's going to help a lot for just going for those solo pickoffs around the map. And duly noted, they have the Lifestealer now, and that's a lot of the problems with Beastmasters at time when you don't have just enough damage, but if you have that Lifestealer bomb inside you,
yeah,
then it's going to add a lot of pressure.
Mild pressure here in the bottom lane coming out from MVP, but just to backpedal a bit, it's been unfortunate for FY after a successful jungle experience, has yet to really make a strong presence with that Primal Roar here, but they're going to make another go at it. Looks like they've smoked up, and they're going to take a long journey up and above to look for Forev here, and well, with the drums coming out, there's a good roar, and this should lead to a nice and easy execution takedown there, going the way of VG.Reborn.
And that's going to transition now into the mid-tier 1 when they catch out the Furion like that. So, meanwhile, they're going to have QO split push on the top lane. He's not going to be able to take this. but still going to be able to apply some pressure. They have this Hawk scouting out where they are, and they still don't have the best way to deal with this life stealer, Dakota. I mean, the best thing to really set up for is maybe a tornado into a fissure. How do they lock down this life stealer?
I don't know. They don't have a huge window to work with, especially since he's now building up more into that tank zone. He's got the Ogre Club waiting in the wings there. Top lane, rotation in from Mikasa. He's going to quickly blink away from trouble, but they're looking to pursue. They get him with the Sprout, and quickly 4F sees trouble coming. So he's going to go for a TP himself. QO, though, not looking to let up. Gets out the Dark Pack, looking to go for possibly a pounce, but it takes him to the high ground. Was he trying to jump over to the river, but he couldn't hurdle. So he's going to get stuck. DDC will just pick him off easily with the finger. Unfortunate little misplay there for QO.
Yeah, you're not going to win the Olympics by that jump. Oh, my. And now they're putting more pressure on the bottom lane. You have the TP out coming from the life stealer. Yeah, like we talked about, it's going to be hard for them to really pick off ZYF if they don't have an Orchid. So, and MP's not even going for an Orchid. He's going for his standard Midas.
It's very greedy itemization here from MVP, and if VG Gaming Reborn can ramp things up as they did in game number 1, this could be a bit punishing to MVP when they're not really, at that point of itemization they'd like. And they are getting some nice D-wardage here. DDC will get rid of that pretty deep offensive ward. Does put him in the bit in the dark. MP still floating around a bit, needs to be careful. Gets off that one tornado, but parallel to him, DDC just up in the north, trying to hunt him down, but looks like they will not pursue.
So now it looks like they're going to go back to their side. Do they have any smokes now to work with from VGR? It looks like they're the ones that want to be extra aggressive right now. I think they're stronger. They have the mechanism online. Meanwhile, MVP doesn't have that necessary sustain. They've been rotating around the map so heavily. It's 14 minutes in the game. Your Earthshaker is still level 5. Your Disruptor is still level 5. Almost going to get that 6, though, but still.
You need those 6s. That's the bulk of your team fight right now. I mean, you can have the Invoker try to set things up with your nice little tornado combo setup, but you're counting on the Disruptor being able to kind of set the stage with a huge Static Storm, and then hopefully Febby can find a way in there to really bring in the dunk. But without those big power hitting combos, it does leave him a bit starved as far as damage potential. But it looks like before any sort of potential new skirmish is going to break out, they will be able to have the time to kind of get those level 6s together. It's on them, though, to kind of make them count with their debut.
Yeah, but the problem with Earthshaker is he needs those levels into Aftershock, else if you Echo Slam, they're just going to immediately walk away because they're not stunned for that long. So you still need levels on the Earthshaker, and running him as this greedy support here from Febby. He will have a Blink Dagger maybe at a reasonable time here. He's got 1,000 gold saved up, and so they are finding farm on their supports. It's just not the EXP.
Smoked up, looking for anyone kind of hanging around the back, or looking for anyone to TP in to defend this tier 2. But all the meanwhile, VG Gaming Reborn are actually adding their own pressure here in the bottom lane, so it looks like a potential trade is going to be in order again. And with those Treants already out, it looks like a tier 2 is certainly in order here for MVP.
The only person who can really TP on this tier 2 is, he's going to get glimpsed back if he has to.
Yep, quick tornado will be there. He comes in, though, with a buddy in crime. It's ZYF, but a huge sonic wave comes through from Mikasa. It is going to lead to a quick 1-for-1. They're going to get the follow-up, taking down the lifesteal here from MVP. Good hold from them, and they'll be able to get the finish on this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, that's just easy setup for the Disruptor. I mean, you're going to be expecting those Lifestealer bombs to come out from somebody, and it just so happens you're going to come out from a Darkseer into a kinetic field, Static Storm, and you can't do anything. You can't rage.
Very optimistic play there possibly from VG Gaming Reborn, going for that bit of a defense. They had Mikasa there to help out a bit with that sonic wave, but maybe needed that +1, and that +1 possibly in that primal roar to really make it that much more of a juicier gank attempt. But MVP will be awarded with the couple of pickoffs plus the tower, and well, Forev will be picked off, it looks like here. DDC has the finger if necessary, will commit it, and your Forev Nature's Prophet will be put into the grave.
Yep. And they also have the Orchid to work with. QO could be in trouble. Oh no, they're going to go on Dubu.
Yeah, they got that blink, but DDC's going to be able to get off the stun right now. Can they get the finish here for the Slark? Slark going to retreat away. Can't make it out from trouble. Now slowed up from the Boars, and they'll be able to take down the Slark.
Oh, Mikasa missed the jump. He missed it. He tried for the screenplay, but just a little bit off the mark there. Disruptor going to the south.
So make it 2 all day there for VG.Reborn. They lose 2 of their own in the top lane, and they're just as fast, able to kind of get 2 more kills themselves, and 2 core kills at that.
Yep, nice kind of setup there from Mikasa. And you see the problem now with the Invoker going for this Midas build. Where is his damage coming from? Doesn't have it. And that's why the Queen of Pain was just able to blink in and just wasn't able to die. So really well played from VGR right now. And like I said, they're still in the driver's seat. So they can make things happen. You don't have the Earthshaker with the Blink Dagger yet. So that's going to be like their kind of big setup as we talk about. And
MVP had rotated over with the smoke here, but towards the Roche pit, possibly anticipating something from VG.Reborn, but it looks like the smoke could end up leading really nowhere, as MP will just utilize it to kind of get back into the grind of farm. On the other side, VG.Reborn could make their own move, and you know, ZYF, he's not that big of a fan of that, you know, ancient creep lifestealer. I don't think I've seen him pick one ancient creep this game.
yeah, he could have picked up maybe the Dragon early on and tried to mow down all the towers, but they already did take down all the tier 1 towers just because they're just manhandling MVP. Same thing with MVP. They just kind of went around the map and just got the objectives because they always pick up this Furion, and they're just able to get these objectives so easily. But MVP, they have a lot of setup right now. Tons of setup. They have the Blink now for the Earthshaker. Fissure set up into Tornado and into the Static Storm. That's the best thing about their lineup. They have 2 things to set up for a huge Static Storm play.
All right, they're going for Roche, but VG.Reborn are quick on it.
Nice rage.
Yeah, great rage timing. Is not going to have any sort of trouble with that Static Storm or Tornado. He makes quick work of the Disruptor. Now proceeds to low ground. Mikasa gets a nice catch with a Sonic Wave, but there's a beautiful block coming out from Febby. Will prevent them from moving forward. Forev barely able to make it away right there with the right-click damage. And with them muscling out MVP from this Roche, they're looking to take it right from them, and they go in themselves.
And that was a Sonic Wave used with the Arcane Rune, so he's going to have that available in 75 seconds for the next team fight. And doesn't look like MVP can really contest this at all. Tornado Scout's a little bit too late, and it looks like they want to go on the aggressive here. Mikasa, Lifestealer inside.
Kiwo was able to slip out there, it looks like on the back of a TP, but this is a huge boost right now for VG.Reborn. You know, MVP, we're hoping to make a move to get the Aegis themselves, and I don't know if it was the right timing. I mean, they have that Sentry Ward there, but you're going against the Beastmaster, and with the Hawk always out there, they continue to retain the proper map control.
And they finally have a good front liner that you kind of have to set up with Echo Slam something to stop that Lifestealer from coming on top of you and just raging and then taking out your Disruptor. And that's the huge part of their team fights, is having this Disruptor controlling people. So right now, MVP doing his best they can to split push out the lanes. And Beastmaster with a haste and an invis. Oh, QO, no wait, what?
Oh, he sees that the haste was taken away. But who took it? No one's invis, but oh, they're gonna catch him out with a nice Primal Roar, is able to leap away, but not able to leap too far. That will lead to a pick-off there for VG.Reborn.
Top lane, though, they're setting up for this kill on Yang. He's going to TP away, but oh no, he glimpsed him out of it.
Yep, and well, it puts him down below. Sprout's not going to lock him in place. He simply pops off the mech. While that happens, it is Febby who's going to be taking down the mid lane. ZYF just trucks right through the tier 2 and easily takes out the Earthshaker, knowing that the rest of MVP are doing work here in the top lane.
And they have Aegis still to work with. They have Necro 3, but not necessarily on FY right now. Probably back out and wait for that. I'm very curious to see when VGR want to, you know, try to go for that high ground. I mean, they're just on another level today. Just taking it to MVP. Way more aggressive than them, and they desperately need it. Oh, nice blink. Well, that was just a lot of weird interactions there. He infested as well as rage to stay. I wonder how that would have worked. If he infests the creep, I think he has to stay at the creep. He wouldn't go back. But that's one of those things you'll never see, and it could be bugged.
And it looks like he is going to be going for possibly the Desolator there next, with one Mythal Hammer already picked up. To really be able to hit like
bottom
a truck.
lane.
Yep, bottom. They made their move for DDC, a Sprout, an Orchid, Nature's Guys, and a Tornado will be able to catch him right there at the end, and he will fall to his demise. And that's a killing spree bounty going the way for MP. You know, for an Invoker who had a bit of a struggling start, he's made quite the recovery, and he's finished off his 4 staff now.
Yeah, this is just old school Invoker when you're just going for the positional plays. They're going to be trying to kite a lot now from MVP. They have the Sprout for that, the Force Staff, as well as we talked about the Fissure kind of blocking off the Lifestealer. They're just going to have to effectively do it. But the problem with that is VGR have so much catch potential. They have Surge to work with. You also have the Blinking and Queen of Pain, who's working on her BKB. And once she has it, there's just going to be no hope in stopping her besides that Echo Slam.
And for Febby there, I mean, he has the Blink Dagger now, so got to keep it heads up for those dunk lead-ins here. Looks like the jump there on the bottom. They're looking to go for Rev. Now, MVP have been waiting in the wings for something to happen like this, and they're going to get off the Static Storm, but ZYF is able to truck right past it. And can he get Dubu down before he's TPing away? No, they will not. The stun
so
comes just a hair too late.
How much? Is it like 50 HP? I thought he was going to have enough. But once he has that Desolator, he's going to be paper.
Yeah.
Still, rotations. Nice Queen of Pain. Orchid off.
But QO is able to kind of sidestep it a bit and make his way out from trouble.
Meanwhile, they're trying to set up on the bottom lane. They might get an Echo Slam off.
Ooh, and they make a jump for Yang here. QO trying to get the pick here for the Darkseer. Needs a little bit more. He's trying to juke around the trees and make it away. FY steps in, tries to help out, but this could be a bad trade for MVP, and it will be. A finger there. Simultaneously at that bottom lane, as you were mentioning, they are going to be able to get a pick off. MP gets the pick off on ZYF, so it's a core apiece.
As well as the Darkseer going down, but yeah, shutting down this Lifestealer as much as you can. He was just kind of getting out of control, and that's going to help out a lot. And they talked about it on the panel where Slark versus Lifestealer in the later game, it favors heavily the Slark just because once you start trading those blows and they both kind of have that Basher and the Abyssal Blade, Slark's going to eventually win because he can Dark Pact off the stuns as well as, you know, keep on taking all of his life with the Essence Shift. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this later stage goes, but
spotted out MP here. They get the Orchid. He quickly forces up, and he's got the assistance there from Febby with the Fissure, and even gets a nice little tornado connection. EMP will force FY back, so this is a commitment from Mikasa. He jumps in and just debuts his BKB, but not going to be able to get anything with it.
And we saw how that last team fight with the Lifestealer, Dakota, he didn't have a Quelling Blade for the Nature's Prophet. Speaking of Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he jumps in with DDC, who has that Blink Dagger now, and they just make quick work of the Nature's Prophet. That's a good little
jump. Ain't worried about no Sprouts no more.
Oh, and that pretty much will secure his Desolator.
So this is going to help out a lot for just shredding the supports. He still needs to be inside of somebody like the Queen of Pain so he can still get on top of somebody. We saw that's the problem with Lifestealer at times. But meanwhile, they're setting up on bottom lane everywhere around the map.
QO already committed his pounce there. And, well, that will be the end of it. Man, QO has been taken down a lot this game. He is 3-7-3 on his Slark.
Just not having the best time. They are doing everything right now to shut down. And they're playing a better Nature's Prophet kind of game in both. They keep picking him off everywhere on the map, as well as last game, it was the OD constantly dying. Now it's the Slark, as you're saying, dying around the map. VGR just have their number.
And already we're seeing some high ground pressure here. ZYF with that new shiny Desolator. Look at him siege this tier 3. This tier 3 is just about done. And, well, he'll step back as he sees that no one else from MVP is kind of in the side lanes and does anticipate that they are pulling out a bit of a defense. And you gotta remember they have that high ground defense with the Febby Blink Dagger Echo Slam. Tier 3 though gonna be taken down. Rax is now exposed. Tornado will come out. Now all the meanwhile it is
that's the only way they can get this set up is with the smoke here, Dakota. But they're already backing out.
QO's trying to chase, but they will get the glimpse. DDC tried to blink out, but they will pick off the little Lion support. MVP at least getting one thing in exchange for their tier 3, and they're not done there yet.
Yeah, they need more. They desperately need more.
They really do.
That Lion is not enough for MVP to come back into this game.
They're hustling, but I don't think they're gonna get any sort of catch. Actually, they might here. Mikasa on the low ground. They're still on the
vision.
move. Blinks away just as Febby looks to go for his own blink, but they got a new glimpse, and it's Yang right into a Static Storm Kinetic Field combo, but now they're looking for a response. Mikasa moves in, catch for Febby. Meanwhile, ZYF easily able to isolate and finish off the Desolator like he's Pepa. They'll get the Febby takedown, and they're not done there yet. Mikasa in trouble from MP, but ZYF makes a move for Forev. Forev will be able to sprout himself, but they turn the corner. MP dominating now, but all the meanwhile, it is going to be ZYF who's able to isolate and possibly get the finish for Forev. No!
Oh,
they won't get him. The Lumberjack FY jumps in from above and chops down those trees and will be able to get the pick off. 3 for 2. QO. Gonna get caught here. There's the open wounds. He attempts to pounce out, makes it away.
Fast. They have the vision. He's gonna get slowed by the board.
They got him. ZYF, a killing spree for him. 4-2 and 8 on his lifestealer. Now, all the meanwhile, they also get their own return for MVP side as MP gets his own pick off, finishing off FY. But another takedown on QO here. The fight recap doesn't tell the whole story here, but if we take a look at the net worth, it continues to go the way of VG Gaming Reborn.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to side, even though they got, a 2 for 3 trade-off there from MVP, or it might have been a 3 for 3, but yeah, because the Earthshaker went down. Still, when you have QO keep on getting shut down like this, he's not going to have his Scotty at a reasonable time, and we're talking about it going into later game stages. Lifesteal top.
DDC sidestep the Tornado, actually blinking up north, gets off the quick hex on the MP, but he is still in a lot of trouble here. And yeah, will be easily taken care of. And yeah, while the QO, Slark continues to get picked off. MP, though.
Yeah, MP putting the team on his back now. Now they're trying to go on the offensive and get pickoffs around the map.
Yeah, and he suddenly has an Agnum Scepter complete on his Invoker, so.
Doesn't really have the points in Exort to work with it. He has 3 now with the additional with Ag, so not going to be working with the Forge Spears just yet, and it's not going to have a lot of damage coming out from the Meteor, so still only able to play with the Quads Wex, but that Deafening Blast Disarm will help out tremendously against the Lifestealer. Another way to really kite him after his Rage.
MVP continues to kind of creep in here from the northern side, possibly awaiting someone to rotate in here. They're going to see Mikasa, a jump-in dunk, and a silence, and a Static Storm, all for him. A lot of hate for this Queen of Pain. They'll get the successful pickoff. Now they have the advantage in numbers. We'll see if MVP are going to be now making their first move into the high ground here.
Yeah, you can't. You just wasted your Disruptor ulti, and you just want to get that kill so desperately because it's on a Queen of Pain that's 12K net worth, and they're just going to have to back out because wasting that.
It is going to be a bit of a difficult time for MVP to kind of do some work sieging into the base here. VG Gaming Reborn do have a very nice lineup for befriending a lot of the high ground pusher. Darkseer, one of the best in the game as far as defending the high ground, and you even have FY who could set things up with his Primal Roar, both of them having Blink Daggers to kind of make those secured initiations. MVP are going to have to get off some successful games if they want to move in.
Actually, Dakota, let's rephrase this. They have 5 Blink Daggers on VGR.
Yeah, technically you count the vehicle, but he actually does have his own Blink. Yeah, they have. Man, Blinks were on sale today, that's for sure.
I mean, Mikasa, if you want to have, you already have your own.
Blink Gaming here for VG Gaming Reborn.
So they're just going to be mobile as best they can, and that's what they were hoping on for MVP, was hoping they weren't going to be mobile so they can kite them around. But with all these Blink Daggers, they're just going to be able to initiate whenever they want. They have this Furion scouting out for the Roche, though. So MVP, if this could be their shot. They have huge ultimates for the Roche lineup, but without having the Echo Slam, I don't know if you can contest.
Yeah, I mean, they tornadoed, but it was kind of one of those tornadoes like, hey, I see you doing that. I see you. Now there was the bird still up and above. We'll be able to scout things out, but the Roche will go down. Aegis going to be picked up there from ZYF. Now your Lifestealer has a second life to work with here.
Oh, stun canceled for Yang, but they're going to immediately come back, and they're screwed now.
Oh, Primal Roar's out. Febby's in trouble, and QO here. Finger from the high ground is going to help secure that one.
They're going to get the Rax, though.
But yeah, Tier 3 goes down, and Raxes are quick to fall here as well. They're going to be forced to dish out the Glyph. Ranged Rax,
he got glimpsed back.
Glimpsed all the way back here. Look at that, way out of the mixed DDC. On the other side here, Mikasa up in arms with MP. MP gonna dish out the cold snap and will help separate it a bit, and will make his own little retreat. But nice successful push. The first base damage is gonna be going the way of MVP as they get that range Rax down.
Yeah, it's just a range Rax though. They would ideally like to have the melee Rax just for those extra creeps and pushing power, but now VGR, all they have to kind of do is push out the top lane with whoever has the Aegis, which is your Lifestealer, and then they can start setting up ganks on the mid lane or bottom because they know 4Ev is going to try to split push them as much as they can now. But he can get burned because of that. So Beastmaster can help out in that regard. And VGR, they just need to take this tier 2 tower top and make sure that they can apply some pressure onto the mid lane and just go for high ground before the Furion can rat them.
Do you think, though, that VG Gaming Reborn do have to play against the clock a little bit? I mean, you already mentioned how Slark has more late game potential over the Lifestealer, and you even have a Nature's Prophet who offers a bit of that split push game. Do VG Gaming Reborn have to worry about this game going too late?
I think VG Reborn are at a good state where they have such great mobility that they can get pickoffs around the map. We talked about the Hawk vision coming out and able to scout out where the Furion is constantly. So they're not necessarily on a timer for that, but QO just blinked in aggressively.
He is ambitious. You got a hasted DDC with a Blink Dagger here, and well, it looks like they're not going to be able to get the catch onto him.
If he had the haste for just another 5 seconds, that would have been a dead QO, I think.
QO going to be lucky this time. We'll be able to sidestep back and away, and that split pressure does continue here as MVP move their assault here on the bottom lane. We'll make quick work of this tier 2.
Looks like a base race.
I mean, you already have VG Gaming Reborn back at this mid lane here. ZYF just walks across the welcome mat and tries to go to work here on the racks a little bit, but
yeah, they're going to get top here with Nature's Prophet. 4Ev is going to be TPing in. Darkseer has TP'd back, but he doesn't have anything to really stop 4Ev. So this is kind of weird having your Darkseer back. Meanwhile, it can be a 4v5.
Oh, Febby jumps in, gets off a little bit of a totem smash there. Will force out a nice rage bait there from ZYF, but ZYF does still have that Aegis to work with for a few more moments. Glimpse back will bring the Lifestealer right back into their open arms. It's going to lead to the fissure, and QO, in the meanwhile, gets easily caught out and locked down with the Primal Roar. Add a Sonic Wave on top of that, and your Slark is going to be taken out of the picture for about 70 seconds, but has the buyback now. Will be able to commit it. They lose their melee racks, and quickly,
oh, they're going to have Glimpse
VG
on
Gaming
ZYF here.
They try to 180 out for the base, but as you said, they got that Glimpse. They pull him back in. And, well, Yang, as he makes his move in, is going to get caught under that Static Storm. It looks like they might be able to get ZYF. He has no more Aegis here. Able to sidestep, looks to race out, will be able to blink away to safety. And will they be able to get the catch onto him? It looks like they will not. DDC will be able to TP away. ZYF, he's hiding right now in the trees.
They know where he is.
They see him, though. There he is, and they got him. Oh, he tried to find a little closet to hide in, but that was not a safe haven.
Oh, man, I think Tower gave them vision or something. Very unfortunate to make that huge play of getting out of the base alive. So that's going to heavily favor MVP. They were able to, well, they weren't able to get that Rax top lane, so still VGR going to be getting the better of that trade here. And, well, now you can see the problems with QO. Like, you get picked off too many times, and he desperately needs, I'm very curious to see what he goes for, right? You kind of want to have a BKB because we keep seeing what happens. He keeps on using his Dark Pack very early because he has to, and he's playing very aggressive. So then Beastmaster just instantly roars him afterwards.
And now we're seeing QO farm up a little bit here on the Ancient camp a bit, but it's been a bit of a reset at this point.
Still MVP, they can get a lot of pickoffs around the map. Both teams can. And that's just what's going to come down to this game right now. It's still, I think, a little bit favored for VGR right now, like 65-35, just because they can get the catch off a little bit better. But MVP, all they really need to have is one good Echo Slam, and I think they can take a team fight.
They're rolling through here into VG Reborn territory. Looks like they'll just snipe a bit of the farm here and not press their luck hanging around a bit too long here. FY is looking to roll through as well.
The poor Hawk got hit by the tornado.
Yep.
Poor Hawky.
Quick, easy takeout. He'll spawn a new friend now. But this is MVP kind of controlling the majority of this map. They've taken over and farmed through the VG Gaming Reborn jungle. No one's farming the MVP jungle right now, so VG Gaming Reborn are feeling a bit starved at this moment. Looks like someone's going to be breaking out here. QO moves in. He's got that Invis rune. They're looking for a setup. Oh, quick blink. They have the gem on FY. He looks to avoid the trouble. Quickly pops his Necro Book, and they will sidestep any sort of gank attempt there from MVP.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where you're trying to make up something happen and then nothing comes of it. So you're just going to be forced back now and try to split push.
BKB for your Darkseer.
they still want to make something happen here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, MVP have not pulled off from this bottom lane for what feels like the past couple of minutes now, and Kiwo is going to just farm up the Necro book in the meantime. I mean, they've been doing a great job, MVP has, of being able to keep these lanes pressured and not allowing VG.Reborn to comfortably move past the river since their previous mid lane engagement.
Yeah, and on straight on 5-on-5s, if VGR, they should take the team fights handily. But it's going to come down, talked about the initiation from the ES as well as just getting caught out. So they've been doing a really nice job of just hunting down the Hawks, making sure there's no vision. It's obviously nighttime right now, so they're not going to be having that extra vision from VGR, and that's going to be scary for them. Luckily enough, Roshan will not be spawning until, you know, a good, what, 3 minutes? 4? Is that maximum?
No, I mean,
we don't want to get to know for another minute.
Yeah, we won't know for another minute, so we'll have to see who it could end up favoring here, but you can bet that for both these teams, they'll be certainly keeping a lot of tabs on when it does come up, but VG.Reborn now pop out a smoke, and you can see the game plan potentially drawn out, but they're actually making the move from mid lane. Now that they spotted out QO, they're hoping for a opportunity to maybe get a blink roar off. But QO has already departed. He quickly picks up an arcane rune and will blink himself right up into the woods. So VG Gaming continue to fish for an opportunity here. Smoke pops and make the jump. They're going to see QO here, but he goes right into a shadow dance to get the pullback. And
oh, they got Febby.
They got a good Febby fissure, but ZYF quickly jumps for that fissure tar.
They also got
get the kill.
Disruptor and the gem
down. A gem is going to be swung for VG.Reborn there. They already had one of their own, but taking away that extra vision potential from MVP.
Yeah, but you can just see how MVPs line up. Like, they just lose their 2 supports there, and then they just immediately go push out the bottom lane with Furion, and then start, you know, summoning the Forge Spirits and pushing out. So it's really hard for VGR when they don't get these cores to make another play around the map. So
yeah, they have to get back to these lanes, address them, and force them to kind of push out, and more of rinse and repeat here. Yang will do his own work bottom lane, and you know, they're not going to be able, as you said, to find a whole lot of follow-up unless they're able to get a catch on a big mighty core here, which could be MP here in the top lane. FY has the roar. They're going to see the tornado possibly fly out, and now they look to make their move, and there it is. They get the blink open wounds plus the primal roar. They'll allow ZYF to kind of continue to do the work, and that will be a successful
they're going to get Dubu too. Shiva's going to slow him down. Nice force staff. Didn't see Dubu picking that up, else he would have been a dead Raptor.
He makes it away. They will not get this support follow-up here. Febby is close to trouble and might not even know it here. It looks like they will be able to ping it out.
Oh, they just put on the Lifestealer.
Yep.
So where do they go now from here?
Oh,
they just see Febby.
Does not look like they're going to find a catch opportunity, though. And we touch back with Roche again. We get to see our secondary timer. It's going to be just about a minute before it is up. And with the position both these teams are in, I mean, a strong push coming out from VG.Reborn towards this top lane as they get their finish onto the final outer tower here on the side of MVP. I wonder if they can kind of just take this momentum from top all the way down to that Roche area and try to take it.
Yeah. It still will be a very hard Roche for them to take, just because we talked about all the AoE coming in from MVP, and they have a lot of scouting utensils. Furion with his Treants can go scout. You also have the Tornado, Sunstrike. So this next Roche could be make or break for both teams.
We'll see, though, as FY already starts trucking that way. We could just start to see the standoff getting ready to be formed here. It's very crucial for both of them if they want to begin to kind of add that extra pressure. MVP could use this Aegis to kind of get the finish there in that top lane and possibly look for their own follow-up. And VG.Reborn, you could pretty much say the same for them. I mean, ZYF is looking to siege up. He's got a Hyperstone for now, but I can bet that this is going to move into an AC, which would allow their objective gaming to be that much more potent. It looks like Roche is up now. VG.Reborn are first in the pit, but MVP very close by. They have the Hawk scouting it from the high ground as QO makes a go for the illusion. They make their own jump, and they're going to try to get the finish, but QO is going to be forced away. He gets the BKB off, and he's going to be good. And now it's MVP looking to turn it around. ZIOF will be able to get the finish, taking off both supports, and they'll get the follow-up, taking down Forev. Gem on the deck now. Mikasa's going to be going down. This Slark is going to get finished.
Fingers.
Nice catch with the finger coming out from DDC. VG Gaming Reborn will win this fight, and they could get rewarded here with a nice Roche takedown.
And how are their buybacks looking right now for MVP? They have
2.
Okay.
1 for the Slark and 1 for the Nature's Prophet. Do you
because
think it's
because they're still going to be able to pressure and make QO buy back, so they can still pressure in the bottom lane here when they come back. Invoker's going to try to stall. This could be very bad for MP if he gets caught out.
Tornado, swing and a miss there. It's still taking a lot of
time. It's so
time.
hard to kill Roche. You don't have the Inner Beast Aura, you don't have the Necros to work with, and I thought the Deso would be enough. Wait, he has Deso and Mjolnir? Okay.
He turned into Mjolnir.
So
I guess anticipating that split push game from Nature's Prophet.
So what he did is, he changed his item slot to have the Mjolnir now. So the Desolator, it's kind of, he might sell it or might just trade it. Like when he's doing Roche, he might trade it, so Desolator is the one active. But this is going to be very interesting to see how this is going to work, because the Desolator is not going to do anything now but just add damage.
Yeah, very peculiar item build-up for your Lifestealer on this one, but you know, maybe it's necessary. I mean, you're seeing all the split push come in with these Forge Spirits, with these Treant Protectors coming out, and you know, obviously with an Agnum Scepter build-up on Forev, you're going to get all sorts of deep, you're going to have to get all the deep push you can to kind of deal with it here, and I guess they're just taking early steps towards that with this Mjolnir pickup.
Yeah, but he still needs a lot of armor, especially against the QO Slark and the Invoker when he starts using the Alacrity. Desperately need the armor. Even, you know, something's crazy is you think about Lifestealer. He has a Rage already, but if you put BKB on him, he's immortal. Because you're going to have, like, the potential for, 20-second or something crazy. If you just time it right, you Rage first, then BKB, and then you get a maximum of 22 seconds of BKB. There's nothing that really goes through it that we talked about. I mean, the only thing that's going to help is the Slark with the Scotty, slowing the Lifestealer down, but they have scouted this out.
Okay, another go at the Roche. FY going to make his jump. It's for MP here. Primal Roar and a finger. Sonic Wave is going to be a bit too late, but they already got the finish for the Invoker here. He quickly buys back, and now Forev looks to make his move. Sprout is going to be a swing and a miss, and he BKBs up, and it looks like ZYF is going to make his move for that. All the meanwhile, QO up in arms with the book, while Yang gets caught under a Static Storm. They'll finish off the Darkseer on this one. Jump in from DDC. Nice stun. It's only going to connect for Dubu, though. ZYF looks to finish him off. We'll be able to get the catch on that one here. And it turns into another buyback there for MVP. Forever is going to have to buy back if they want to have any sort of contention for this Roche, but it looks like VG Gaming Reborn might be able to pocket it here. A buyback, though, for Yang. And now ZYF is going to be going toe-to-toe here with QO.
Oh, nice
steps
Sprout.
in. Nice little Sprout locks QO.
Febby!
Under the trees, but yeah, Febby moves in. There's going to be the fissure. ZYF caught into the Hex, and now they begin to square off. Another Sprout. This one locks in ZYF. Meanwhile, Febby is going to be isolated between both FY.
Yeah, ZYF, there he is, BKB.
There he moves in, and he got it. They're going to be able to quickly finish off MP. Invoker is out 100 seconds. No buyback for him. QO pouncing, running, trying to make it away, but ZYF is able to catch him up, and he has his number. Yang picks off that one, and now do you just go right for the mid lane?
Yeah, you just go right down the mid lane. You don't go for Roche at all. You force buybacks. You know that the Invoker doesn't have one, but QO should still have one, and they're still going to be fighting without their big ultimates for the side of MVP, and you're only down the Lion right now. Everything's looking good. They can just, they can get everything right now, and this could be over for MVP.
And eyes on the prize here. ZYF skips over, finishing off the racks in the mid lane, and just bolts to the north here, going right for the tier 3. Does force out that QO buyback, but just as they see the buyback come out, they 180 out of there. Febby, hard commitment here. Blinks to the low ground to get off a stun, but
they are starting to do a lot of things. This tier 3 tower in bottom is taking a heavy amount of damage, and as well as the top racks, so they were able to fend them off. So really well played there from 4F, just keeping them in the game. And you just saw how it's really hard for VGR to siege those towers. Are they going to take this?
Looks like they might. VGR really need to kind of get this push out from their base, and they need to start beelining it towards this Roche. It is taking quite a while here for MVP to be able to finish it off right now, and I don't think they're going to have enough time. They're going to anticipate VG Gaming.
VGR is like, thanks, guys. You did all the hard work for us.
Softening it up a quick. Oh, here we go, though. Jumping from Mikasa. It's for the illusion,
that's a BKB
though.
down.
And the BKB committed. All for a scary little illusion. But that will allow now. Is there going to be a big play here? QO is thinking about it. Sunstrike Does this Slark make the move? He blinks in, cannot snag it up. Oh no, QO, he gonna get roared up too.
Oh,
he is down.
That is over.
That's bad. It's it. I mean, QO is out.
Oh,
I mean, super ambitious. Was that necessary? Was that
if
what
you
they
have buyback,
needed to
then
win?
yes.
But
not having buyback, absolutely
man,
not.
That was pretty all in there from QO to make a go for that Roshan. Not getting it, losing his life.
I mean, they are going to get bottom racks. 4Ev is doing his best to keep them in, but they can't get the megas for the mid. So they're just going to go end the game now. No Slark for 77 seconds.
Yep. Rage avoids the tornado and the deafening blast. EYF moving, trucking in. Glyph going to be forced out now. They're going right for the jugular on this one. A micro base race here is Forev also making a move for tier 4s here with the help of the Treants, but they just cannot move as fast here.
That's not fast enough. You have to come back.
VG Gaming, it looks like they're going to make a go for the throne, and they have actually pulled out a bit of an upset here. They will 2-0 the favorites in MVP. Well played by them. A lot of people did not know what to expect from VG Gaming Reborn, the, I guess if you will, the H-Cup champions for the first 4 seasons, securing their invite here. And a lot of people thought that this team wasn't the best that China had to offer, but they come here and they show up to play, man, in day number 1.
Whew. I mean, both teams were kind of like back and forth getting pickoffs, but it just looked like VGR was getting the more prized pickoffs in towards the later game. Beastmaster did everything right. So this FY greedy Beastmaster early on just paid dividends, and you can't talk about Yang enough in that early game. Oh my goodness,
it was
putting
so
on
crazy.
A show against QO, and I don't think I've seen QO this many deaths and just kind of underwhelming performance for me. But yeah, really well played from VGR. And is there any one person that we can say like you won this game for them, or is it just like a team play? I think it's more of like a team, but
it's good team effort. I mean, they kind of set it up. ZYF, though, also bringing a serious game with that Lifestealer, putting on a convincing show on why Lifestealer might have to just come back into top core priority here. And as you said, they found a lot in their laning stage. Like, it started to be trouble for Yang in the offlane, being picked off time and time again, but then he would quickly be able to bounce back with some solo pickoffs. QO decided to go with a pretty greedy early Midas pickoff, so they punished him quite a bit. It was really all over the place.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough burst damage, I felt, when they had the 2 Midases coming in from him and the Invoker. So that allowed the Queen of Pain to go for that Orchid and then started being that tempo controller. It's just maybe a little bit too greedy like we're talking about, but what a game.
Now we are waiting because they're going to be setting up the winner's interview here. So if we'll wait because they're probably just going to cut us right off. So if they just cut us right off, that's probably why it's ready to go here. But what should we expect moving forward here from both of these teams? I imagine for a lot of these teams coming into this event, they probably studied up, but did they study up a lot on a team like VG Gaming Reborn? And after a performance like this, I think they need to go back and make sure they double check those replays.
Yeah, like you talked about.
So tell me, did you expect the 2-0 score, or you thought it would be like 3 maps?
今天挺让我意外的吧，因为我们这个比赛主要还是线下经验为主吧，没有想过拿到好的成绩。虽然这只是第1场，不过我觉得我们打得很好吧。反正2-0是应该没有想到的。
We haven't expected that result because it's the first match. We hope that we can play better in next games.
So the next game will be either OG, either Navi. Who would you rather play with?
下个是哪位或者 OG？ 你想跟哪个队打？
都可以吧。反正如果想拿到好成绩的话，肯定都要面对的。
Yeah. So both is okay.
Okay, thank you very much and congratulations. And we go back to the analysis desk. Thank you.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets